I think the last time I've been to an actual laser tag indoor facility was back in 2013, and even though this was 7 years ago, I still remember very clearly that it was an enjoyable experience. We've seen companies time and time again populate store shelves with their versions of laser tag, which are meant to encapsulate those same emotions. And I encourage that. Making this unique infrared tag game more economically available is another road to active, easy, and fun play. Unfortunately, throughout the years, no one has replicated that exact feeling of playing with official laser tag gear. But that is not stopping X-SHOT, one of my favorite dart blaster companies, from coming in hot to shatter prior expectations of the toy laser tag market. The X-SHOT Laser360 series is meant to flip this old classic upside down with its new infrared technology. What does it do? Is it as good as official laser tag? Is it better than dart blasters, and is it worth buying? If you ever use laser tag blasters like Laser X or from the new Nerf Laser Ops Pro line, you know you have that one cheating friend who will cover up the sensor with their hand to make themselves invincible to all your shots. And also, these same sensors don't detect shots equally from all directions like you see in legit laser tag vests that you wear in facilities. To bypass all these problems, X-SHOT has embedded multiple sensors into its headsets to create a 360 infrared detecting field around your head. This means you can now hit your opponent from the side, from the back, wherever, whenever. I want to say thank you to X-SHOT for sending me the set, which comes with 2 blasters and headsets, and a great choice, batteries included. This set will retail in the US for $29.99, a very competitive price point. To put that in perspective, the Laser360's closest Nerf equivalent is the Nerf Alpha Point from the Laser Ops Pro line, and just this one blaster will cost $29.99. And you need at least 2 of them to play, so that means you're going to be spending a minimum of $60 to play with the Nerf laser tag system. Now let's actually put the X-SHOT Laser360 to the test. Just like other toy laser tag blasters, these ones have flashing lights, sound effects, and different team colors to better immerse you into the experience. Each blaster acts as a single shot pistol with a 12 round capacity, and you can reload it by smacking this bottom button here. These also have an interesting gameplay mechanic called Hyper Mode. After 3 minutes of gameplay has passed, your blaster will start making sound effects, it'll start lighting up, and if you hold down the reload button for 2 seconds, it'll load up your blaster with Hyper Blasts, which do double the amount of damage to your opponent. I dig it. I think that's a great way to heighten the stakes when gameplay is probably getting stale around the 3-minute mark. The overall design of the Laser360 leaves a lot left to be desired. The red, white, and gray color palette doesn't really add to the rigid and linear form factor. I have no complaints about the comfort factor, it's great, and these blasters are very lightweight. At the end of the day, it's most important that this concept holds up. The headset is key to replicating authentic laser tag. So how does it hold up? The headset is constructed well, it's not very vulnerable to bending. That also translates into a headset that is not very comfortable either. Since the plastic on the headset is curved, it unfortunately distorts your vision when you put on the headset. Personally, I can get used to it, but others might not. Depending on how sensitive your eyes are, this could make or break your experience. X-SHOT, it would have been great if you guys put a little more thought into this design, even if it means increasing your retail price. Comfort goes a long way. Use rubber nose pads, use better quality plastic. The only way you can kind of avoid these issues is by wearing the headset on top of your head like a pair of sunglasses, which is what my friend Carl did while we were testing. That worked for him while we played a few rounds, but that might not be practical for all environments. There's also this wire that connects the blaster to the headset, which may spell trouble in some situations. For the most part, you don't have to worry about it, but you might have to think about it more carefully in situations where it might snag onto something. As a left-handed person, I realized it's easier for me to accidentally hit this wire while running and bring the whole headset down on my head, and that hurts and it's kind of annoying. When you make something that is meant to be worn for long periods of time and is the keystone to your product, it should be comfortable, otherwise you're putting the whole usability of your product in jeopardy. Okay, how accurate is the detection on the Laser360? Going back to Nerf for a second, their whole laser tag system is built on aiming for your opponent's blaster and not the opponent themselves. This doesn't replicate authentic laser tag, especially if your opponent covers up the sensor or just hides the blaster completely to prevent themselves from getting shot. Even in cases where you're just retreating, just having your back to your opponent makes yourself pretty much invincible. X-SHOT's Laser360 is supposed to annihilate these worries by making it impossible to cover up all the sensors. From my testing, the headset creates a detection field with a radius of approximately 1 foot. The thing is, with infrared laser beams, they tend to ricochet off walls and mirrors, and that means you could even hit your buddy who's trying to take cover behind a couch. The Nerf laser tag blasters are quite precise, they have tight detection and prevent a lot of this from happening. I can't say the same for Laser360. Bouncing beams off walls is cool and can make for great shenanigans, but I find these blasters to be much too sensitive to these ricocheting shots. Countless times I found that I could just aim in the general direction of the person I'm trying to hit, and I could still get them even if they were hiding. This is kind of frustrating because it kind of removes that whole element of skill necessary to get a legitimate hit on your opponents. In terms of indoor play, I would much rather use a Nerf Alpha Point or a Delta Burst versus the Laser360. But what if we head outside with the system? Is it going to be just as sensitive? Within 10 seconds of my testing, I immediately knew that this high sensitivity issue does not exist when in the great outdoors. Shout out to these people for answering the last food for thought. Answer this video's question using the hashtag and you might be featured in the next food for thought. Despite having multiple sensors, I've noticed that the headset still has a slight blind spot. During one round that I played with Carl, I wore this headset backwards while he wore his headset normally. In a whole 2 minutes of gameplay, he only managed to hit me once or twice when I hit him at least 6 times, and I believe this is because there's no dedicated sensor at the back. These two only do so much to cover this entire area. From testing out the Nerf and X-SHOT laser tag systems, it was clear that both were really fun to use and they both had their pros and cons. When you manage to hit someone, I really like X-SHOT's flashing lights and sound effects probably more than Nerf's. It's very obvious when you hit someone and when you get hit, and that makes it really enjoyable. In general, this whole system works and it's really easy to set up and use. In terms of detection, I think I have to hand it to Nerf. Indoor play is definitely superior, and I think outdoor detection is better than X-SHOT as well. In my opinion, the authenticity of laser tag is better preserved in this laser tag system. It does have its downfalls like the wire getting in the way or it not being so great indoors or the headset not being very comfortable. And I wonder if it's possible to take this 360 technology and shrink it into a chest strap or into an armband like we see with the Laser X blasters. That would be really cool. I definitely think X-SHOT is on the right path with this concept, but it can be improved. This could also benefit from more variety of blasters or different game modes, attachments, what have you. Replicating this childhood classic is not easy. At the end of the day, the best laser tag is, well, laser tag, the one you pay money for at a facility. Is Laser360 better than dart blasters? Well, I'm always of the mindset that dart blasters are superior to these laser tag systems, and that's because you can see physical ammo being fired. In this case, the beams have to be invisible due to laws and regulations, so that way it can't really stack up to legit laser tag. For people who've turned down toy laser tag blasters before but might be intrigued now, this could be a reason to check it out. On the flip side, if you have zero interest in toy laser tag, this is not going to convince you otherwise. The X-SHOT Laser360 is not perfect, but it is enjoyable for what it's supposed to be, especially at that $30 price point. Thanks for watching, and thank you X-SHOT. If you're interested in buying Nerf gear, I have affiliate links down below in the description. Subscribe and follow me on social media for more blaster related goodness. Once again, thank you for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.